way he is giving Dan Bigger a kick up the backside, because personally I thought Dan Bigger had a really big game against New Zealand. Apart from that intercept try, I thought he played really well. But going back to the pack against Georgia, I think, and I don't know what was going on at the end regarding the prop and the scrum issues. I'm no forward expert. Someone who played scrum half or on the wing, I'm no forward expert. So I wouldn't have the slightest idea. But it was just lucky that we got away with having to scrum at the end. And yeah, I mean the backline did well against Georgia, but yeah, he picked completely the wrong pack. Underestimated them a little bit, and yeah, but we had the win, which is all that matters. And come the World Cup, obviously we'll have a full strength team against them, so that I can't see that being an issue in the World Cup. And yeah, I mean, I think Georgia, I mean, they were always going to be strong in the forwards. Their backline was pretty rubbish, pretty useless. We let them take it to a street fight kind of game, which is what they wanted. Instead of getting the ball out as quick as we could to our backs, we let them turn it into a street fight, and that was right up their alley, exactly what they wanted. We weren't clever enough, and that, I would say, that's pretty good analysis of that. That's pretty much it, really. Just I thought Leon Brown did have a good game. I mean, few of the forwards did have a good game, but just in terms of cohesion in the pack, a pack that has played before, that's the thing, there was no cohesion. That side had not had a length of time together before, and I mean, you saw that on the pitch. I think it would have been better if he'd made some changes, but kept half of the squad, half of the first team, but blended changes in alongside it. I think that would have been a lot better. But I mean, I know the All Blacks pulled away with it in the end again last week, but I think maybe it also helped with players being fresh for the All Blacks. So, but I mean, we got away with the win, and the win is all that matters. And as I said, I don't think you can read too much into it when we made 14 changes. Ireland made 14 changes and only just beat Fiji, and so I don't think you can read too much into that, really. My next question is my views on the Wales v All Blacks game. So, I mean, first of all, after seeing the way Scotland played against the All Blacks, I was a little bit hopeful, a little bit confident, and I thought if everybody to a man had a brilliant game, we could beat them. I mean, I thought last week that, I mean, I don't think you can fault the work ethic and the determination of the players that played. I do think everyone had a really good game, but I think the difference was when the All Blacks made their line breaks. they finished them off. They had people on their shoulder. Um, down south, these teams have always been coached on running rugby. They've always been coached on throwing the ball around. They're not gym monkeys like up here. It's skills first. They've always been coached that way, and I think, and the main difference was the line breaks. We made quite a few line breaks, but they took more of their chances. Um, but in terms of, I think everyone to a man had a brilliant game. You couldn't fault the work ethic. Hallam Amos, I thought, was superb. Um, I've always thought he was a brilliant player. Some people have disagreed with me, but even Jeremy Guscott agrees with me. So that's refreshing to hear. Um, I mean, and the subject of Reece Webb, while I'm on it, I thought, obviously he's a great player, he played well, but I think what the All Blacks game showed is that if they really don't pick Reece Webb next year, if they really don't make an exception out of him, then Gareth Davis is just as brilliant a player. I thought Gareth Davis had a superb game. Um, and while I'm on this subject, I know some people don't agree with it, but personally, Ireland do the same thing. Australia are doing the same thing. The All Blacks do the same thing. The All Blacks New Zealand is only a population of not much more than us, and anyone who leaves New Zealand doesn't play for the All Blacks. It's as simple as that. And it works very well. Players know the consequences of their decisions if they choose to move. I mean, if Reece Webb, if it's right that what he said, that they didn't tell him before he signed, then, if, never mind all this